Last year for opening day for the Pistons, it was packed, but this year it just felt different. The atmosphere, it really did feel like a playoff atmosphere. You had fans singing together when Jalen Suggs was fouled out, saying, telling them goodbye, waving them goodbye. It just felt like everybody kind of knew already. Like, this young core, man, is going to be very exciting this year. I mean, they may not win a ton of games, but last night was a perfect example. You got to see Jaden Ivey, Jalen Duren. And Jalen Duren, I mean, it's crazy to see these guys on TV, but to go in person and see, number one, Jaden Ivey's speed. I mean, the guy is so fast. It's unbelievable. And now you kind of understand why that was the narrative about him coming out. But honestly, get to watch an opening day win. First time it's happened since 2019. October 23rd, 2019, the Pistons beat the Pacers 119-110. That was the last time they won the opener. And guess what? Andre Drummond, 32-23. And look at how different the roster is. Now you win an opening night 2 years later, 3 years later, and it's a completely different roster. The starting lineup at the time was Drummond, Snell, Bruce Brown, Markieff Morris, and Reggie Jackson. How far we've came. How far we've came.
Here's where I want to start with. Jalen Duren, Jaden Ivey, Bogdanovich, everybody played well last night. I want to start with the fans. LCA was packed.
It was nuts.
LCA was pretty damn low. And you saw an atmosphere of hope. It wasn't that they won. That was nice. That was good to see.
Right.
But Jaden Ivey looked every bit of what you thought you were getting at number 5. Jalen Duren, nice surprise. Bogdanovich, a nice year rental. But still,
the Pistons are going to get a first for him. I'm telling you. But a contender's going to be calling up in about a couple months.
You see what happens when you put out a product people can get behind?
Honestly, no, you're right.
I'm just saying.
Competitive product.
That is so important.
Yeah.
Was the win nice last night? It absolutely was. I'm sure everybody downtown was loving it. I was loving it at home. But Cade Cunningham, Sadiq Bey, Isaiah Stewart, all have taken a pretty damn good step in their development. Sadiq Bey struggled and you still won. You still put up over 100 points. Bogdanovich, 22 points. Ivey, 19 in his debut. The 4th most points ever by a Detroit Pistons rookie in their debut. I mean,
Adam, I'm telling you, your take about him, it's him. And Paulo's that guy.
Paulo,
but
my God.
Jaden Ivey's right
We'll
there,
get to him, but that's all Detroit's asking for.
That's all it is.
You think I sit up here and ask for a Super Bowl? An NFC championship appearance? A playoff win? So we'll win the division. I'm going to start there.
Right.
That'd be nice. Then the playoff win, and everything else comes into play. But honest to God, man. So you watched the game last night. I see the future.
It's clear.
I have no doubts.
It's clear as day. And
I have no doubts that they can't replicate what Boston has created with their young core. We drew comparisons, Jalen Duren, Robert Williams, how if Duren could give you 70% of what Robert Williams gives you defensively, but gives you much more offensively, he would be a phenomenal player in this league. 14 and 11, my goodness, last night, what a debut. He played the whole 4th quarter. Beef Stew was on the bench.
I noticed that. I'm telling you, even though I still believe it's going to be a Beef Stew and Duren front court, I noticed that. I mean, they trusted the rookie to close the game for them. And even on top of that, I mean, the narrative behind this win, this is why it's so important. It's not it's not about a win itself. The Magic are often compared to the Pistons right now with their current young core. They're at a similar stage. And to go out where you win at home, and now you get to go to the Mecca in a couple days, believe tomorrow, and you had no Bagley, no Burks, and no Livers, and they score 60 in the first half. I mean, don't get me wrong. It started off ugly. A lot of people were a little, frightened in the crowd. I think they went on a 19-0 run, the Magic, and then boom, Pistons score 40 in the second. Like, again, that's the two young teams. You're going to have those ups and downs, but they responded, and I loved it. It's that narrative that Dwayne Casey talked about. They want to be competitive, and it's not just talking about it. See, it's different isn't it funny when coaches talk about something and the players actually do it? That's what we're seeing with the Pistons. They want to be competitive. Players are being competitive. Now, you're going to see nights where it might be the opposite. But opening night, they delivered. And it was awesome to see, man. The crowd loved it.
The crowd loved it. Twitter loved it. Social media loved it. Everybody loved it. Why? Because you could convince me that is a winning product in a few years.
Right.
Why is everybody up in arms? And you know what? You want to blame me, be my guest. Why is everybody, including myself, up in arms about Dan Campbell? Oh, Adam, it's only year 2. You knew it was a clear rebuild. Adam, why? Why are you doing this? Do you see success with that? I don't. But hey, you know what? We'll get to that at a later time in the show. But I'm just saying, the point I'm trying to make to at least start the show today is that is what hope looks like for a fan base.